Hello and welcome to this video. As usual, my name is Mary and I'm glad to be joined by Paminas, our leadership coach, who will be shedding more light on a very interesting subject. As a leader, as a new supervisor, what are some of the best ways into which you can be able to support a new supervisor? I hope and believe that you will find this very insightful. Thank you, Paminas, for joining.
Thank you too, Mary.
Great. The first few weeks into the new role, what are some of the best ways into which you can be able to offer support, or what kind of support can we offer to a supervisor within the first few weeks?
So if you have a new supervisor, it can be a very challenging moment for them. And more so if people management is something new to them. So how you onboard them is really important. Yeah. So for me, what is the starting point? Number one, I would say provide them with the necessary resources and the tools. Empower them from the word go. Because if you're expecting results from someone who doesn't have what it takes, the tools, then surely, are they going to go far? It's not going to be possible. Yeah. So number one, have you provided them with the right resources and tools? Yeah. Number two is make sure you're able to communicate your expectations. Yeah. So do you want them, what idea do you have in terms of them being a supervisor? When we promote someone to being a supervisor, we are looking at them achieving results through other people. So what is your leadership philosophy? I'm sure you've seen instances where someone has been motivated to a leader, and then the next 3 months people quit.
Oh yeah.
They start quitting. Every month they start quitting because they have this new person. But you'd imagine, Mary, if I had promoted you and I tell you, I value my people, if you're going to make changes, make sure you first communicate these changes to me. I need to understand where you're coming from. I know the team's strengths and weaknesses. Can we first discuss? So you see, this person, you now go making mistakes, unknowingly. Yeah. There are also instances where you can communicate to them and tell them, yeah, I would want you to fix the team. So if fixing the teams maybe means some people leaving the organization, let that be. But at least you'll not be taken by surprise. So clearly communicating your expectation is very important. Yeah. The other support you can offer is training and onboarding. Leadership is a skill, like I always say. So the fact that someone has been good at their job does not mean that they are leadership material. It doesn't mean that supervisory skills comes to them naturally. These are skills by their own. So look at, let's say, a sales department. We normally look at the best salesperson in terms of who's hitting the targets. And even I myself have made that mistake. The fact that someone meets target does not mean they should be put in charge of the rest of the team. Maybe they're only good at working alone, and that's all good. Yeah. And there's someone who you find maybe they don't achieve the target as well as the other person, but they are good at bringing people together, motivating them, getting the best out of the people. For me, I would promote such a person compared to this one who is a lone ranger, delivers results. Yeah. So that is where the training and onboarding comes in, whereby you are able to take them through what does it take to be a supervisor, manager, or a leader. What does it take to excel, to manage people? How do you carry yourself? How do you handle a team? How do you motivate people? What challenges are you going to encounter? How do you handle conflict? So for me, that's very important. Yeah. And lastly, I would say offer them the right mentorship. So when you promote someone to a supervisor, you don't just assume, you close your door and say, Mary, now this is your problem, I've appointed you. Without doubt, the first 3 months they will struggle. So have an open door policy where they can come and consult you. They can tell you, oh, John is behaving this way, what should I do? So don't look at them and wondering, why did I promote you? In fact, for me, what I would advise is, whenever I promote someone to a supervisory role, I normally tell them, during your probation period, feel free to ask any question. And don't think any question is beneath our discussion or it's stupid. Yeah, because I would want to support you. After 3 months, you're on your own. And I would expect even after 1 month, the question should go on reducing. But my door is open. Yeah, so if you are watching this video and you have a new supervisor, that's the approach I would recommend. Yeah.
I concur with the insights you've shared, because indeed the first few weeks, if the expectations are not clear, the new supervisor really could be struggling. Yeah. And the fear of even reaching out if there is no that open door kind of policy might be a challenge.
Exactly.
Yeah. So from your experience, what are some of the specific training programs that perhaps employers can recommend to new supervisors to help them succeed?
So for a new supervisor to succeed, there are many areas we can train them on, but I would say what I've seen work, the top 5 areas, I would say number 1 is leadership development, very key, because that's the time they'll be able to run. How do you manage a team? Yeah. The second training I would advocate for is communication skills, because as you and I know, leadership, management, it's all about communication. Yeah. Either you're communicating expectation to your juniors or asking for results, communication is involved. So that's key. Another training is performance management. You're getting results through other people, so how do you manage their performance? So performance management is not only for those in HR. Even other managers, anyone involved in operations needs to master performance management. Another training I would highly recommend is on compliance. This is where HR policies and procedures come in. Yeah. Many of the institutions are right now struggling because managers are very happy to say, "Iyo ni kazi ya HR," or "I'll send you to the HR." Yeah? And yet they can do 90% of the work. So I always advocate things like warning letters, things like disciplinary processes. They should start from the supervisor, from the manager, because this is the person who interacts with the staff on a day-to-day basis. However, even as we require them to initiate, they need to know what they are doing. So we need to empower them. They need to understand the basics of HR, the basics of the legal requirements. What does the labor law say? So there's a training we offer, HR for non-HRs, where within 1 or 2 days we're able to take managers through that training so that they understand the compliance landscape. And lastly, I would say you can offer them training regarding either time management or stress management, because the top challenges that the new supervisor will encounter is how do they manage their time, and how do they handle stress and the emotional aspect. Yeah, so top of mind, those are the trainings.
Great.
Yeah.
Sometimes, indeed, new supervisors find some areas challenging. So what kind of support can we offer them, or can employers offer them to overcome some of the challenges they encounter in their new roles?
I'll keep saying this, Mary, give them the necessary tools and the resources. That's the starting point. Yeah. We can't expect them to deliver if they don't have that at a bare minimum. Then the second one is empower them, in terms of decision making. That's why you appointed them to be supervisors. I've seen instances where someone is appointed as a supervisor, but you as the CEO, director, or head of department, you are still interfering. You are going to the staff instead of letting the new supervisor do their job, so empower them in terms of decision making. I would also go back to what I had said, clear expectations from the word go, so that you are in sync with the new supervisor. Yeah. Also, don't forget regular check-ins. This is where the mentorship aspect comes in, where meet them, especially when they are new, on a weekly basis. Hey, how are you doing, Mary? How are you finding, dealing with people? What challenges are you encountering? So that you can be able to help them. Yeah. And lastly, if they do a good job, recognize and reward them. Yeah.
I agree with you. It's important to support new supervisors.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Great. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
Indeed, when it comes to offering leadership support to new supervisors, people who have taken new positions in leadership or even into management, the kind of support that Paminas has mentioned really comes in handy. And even most importantly, the training programs that you can be able to empower them with really comes in handy. And as corporate staffing, we are able to customize some of these trainings. Could it be performance management or even compliance or communication skills, depending on the level that they are in their leadership roles, and we are able to work with them that journey. We encourage you to reach out to us. We will be able to customize the programs to suit your needs and to empower your management, your supervisors, your leadership team to be able to offer excellent results. We look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.